9:42. Hey, this election day, make them hear you.
Teach every child to raise their voice, and then, my brothers, then will justice be demanded by 10 million righteous men. Make them hear you.
That's the song Brian Stokes Mitchell is performing to inspire people all over to vote. The actor, singer, activist has been using his voice to make such a difference. He joins us now. Good morning to you, Mr. Stokes. How you doing?
Good morning, Dan. Just Stokes. That's what
Stokes.
my friends call me. Friends call me Stokes. Yeah, I'm glad to join your party. It's so much fun watching you all here in the newsroom today.
Oh, well, I appreciate you being here. I'm such a fan of yours. You know, that song that you were singing there, by the way, with an amazing voice. I like to think I have a voice like that, but I really don't. It's from Ragtime. It has such a message, though, really resonating and speaking to the youth and everybody who's voting today. What inspired you to kind of sing it and put it out there today?
Well, I thought this was like the perfect song to do. I talked to Lynn Ahrens and Stephen Flaherty about it, who composed it. And they said, yeah, we really love that, and using that for the vote as well. And they said, go ahead and use it. You know, a lot of people are really anxious right now.
Yeah.
And it's also, I think, a time of anxiety for sure. But it's also a really exciting time as well, because this is a time that we get to look at ourselves, our own lives. We get to look at our country. We kind of get to see things on a macro and a micro level. Not only do we get to ask our country, you know, who are we? How do people perceive our country? How do I want people to perceive our country? What kind of country do I want for me and my children? We get to ask these same questions about ourselves, you know. How do I feel? How is not the country's economy?
Right.
How is my economy? How is my life? How is my anxiety level? How is my comfort level? How do I feel I'm being perceived as well? These are times when we can do this. My father was a Tuskegee Airman.
Oh, wow.
And yeah, it's pretty cool. George Mitchell, and he taught radio code and blinker code in Moton Field in Alabama. And I looked at him and the sacrifices that heroes like him have made in the past. And I thought, you know, I want to honor them and inspire those people who are still thinking, I don't know about voting this year or not.
Exactly.
I want to get them up and say, yes, you're a part of this process. And you don't have a right to complain about who's in office or who's not in office if you don't vote. You have that right if you vote.
Such a hero. By the way, think about the premise of Ragtime, right? Which is, it's amazing that the song actually still resonates today, thinking about the premise of what that musical was all about to begin with. And everybody really needs to exercise that fundamental right that we fought so hard for to get out and vote. I want to talk to you about your vote, because on Halloween you voted early to mark a special occasion, which was your birthday, by the way. So very happy birthday. You're aging backwards. It was pretty cold and windy. I want to ask you just how the kind of overall experience was for you.
It was great. You know, I heard you talking about what to do in line, and that's what I did. I listened to music. It was 34 degrees the morning I got up, and I got up first thing in the morning because the polls open around the corner for me at 7 o'clock in the morning. And I thought, oh, who's going to be up on a Saturday morning in 34 degrees?
Everybody.
Yeah, I can't. You know, I don't like waiting in line. I have to say, I've never been happier to see a huge 2.5 block line. I had to wait when I got there at 7:04 in the morning. I still had to wait 90 minutes, and it was great. I brought my music with me. I listened to some Hamilton, actually, is what I was listening to. And just the vibe of the line, you could tell people were ready to, they were saying enough. You know, I want to make, it's time for me to have a voice.
And that's what was so amazing about, you know, New Yorkers in general standing in line. You usually, you know, you feel like sometimes we're a little bit of curmudgeons waiting in line, but not this time around. And I've walked by a few people, said, how do you feel? Everyone said, you know, we're going to wait as long as we need to. I want to get
which is great.
I want to ask you, by the way, how you're feeling, because you had COVID back in April. You look good. You sound amazing. You were singing from your window, outside your window of your apartment for quite some time. Any chance we can hear you again?
You know, I hope so. I hope you get to hear me on Broadway
Me too.
soon, or, you know, in another place, like, along with all of my friends. You know, all of the people that are out of work right now. Broadway was one of the first sectors hit and closed down.
Yeah.
Will probably be one of the last to open up again. So that is my hope, that very soon we'll all be back together, sharing arm rests without fear. and watching and laughing together and experiencing a story that's being told on the stage. So the short answer is, I hope that's very soon with all of that.
Oh, Stokes, you know, I just miss Broadway so much. It's one of the, so many people do. It's the lifeblood and lifeline, really, of so many things. You know, you shut down Broadway, the neighboring businesses all has a ripple effect, right? And I just want to ask you real quick, you've been in so many TVs and movies as well, TV and television shows, movies. What is next for you?
I got some television things lined up. I just had a costume fitting for a television show. I'm doing 4 episodes on something for CBS that's coming up. I don't know that I can mention it yet.
That's okay.
But it's really nice to see also the studios starting to get going. You know, everybody has these covert procedures in place, and so I'm happy to see that. My brother also works for a network. He's a costume designer out west, and he's been doing the same thing, you know, with the procedures. So you're starting to figure out how to make this happen. So I'm really excited about that.
Real quick, you want to plug that song where people can listen to it?
Yeah, they can see it on my YouTube channel, Brian Stokes Mitchell. Please go there, pass it around to everybody, especially the people that you know that aren't going to get out there and vote. It's there to motivate and inspire people and make you feel good.
Yeah, absolutely. Stokes, I appreciate you being here this morning and with your amazing, amazing voice. I can't go that deep when I sing. I try.
Yeah, you have to do it in the morning. That's
right when you wake up, right? Make them hear you.
There you go. You got it.
It's not quite. It's not quite a Brian Stokes Mitchell. Yeah, OG. You know, our entertainment anchor. She's always thinking she can sing. She can't. Brian Stokes Mitchell, thank you so much.
Thanks, Dan. It's a great pleasure to be with you.
Come back anytime, okay? Come back anytime. 9:49. You heard it. He told me a duet, all right? He said a duet. Still